Binod Chaudhary's net worth is over $1.4 billion, making him the only billionaire of Nepal. In today's conversation, we will be exploring the business impact of the ongoing pandemic as well as Chaudhary's advice for the next generation of entrepreneurs. Mr. Chaudhary is speaking to us remotely from Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal, my home country. Mr. Chaudhary, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome. Always a pleasure to connect with you.
Right. The last time we spoke was in, I think, 2017. It was really fun.
That's right. And that was physical, and today is virtual.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
this speaks of how the times have changed.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Anyway, Mr. Chaudhary, how has this ongoing pandemic affected your business?
Let's put it this way that, there is no one single answer. Okay. There have been different, if we talk about business per se, then it's not that every vertical has been affected equally or every part of the world has been affected equally. We have verticals like the food, the instant, our famous, well-known YY instant noodle, which sells in most parts of the world. There was a surge in terms of demand when people were put in a situation when they had to stay home for months without knowing if the other essentials will be available or not, the markets will function or not. So people started stocking, so we just simply could not produce enough. So on one hand, we had that situation, and on the other hand, our hospitality vertical, which happens to be one of the biggest, one of the three top vertical, came to a grinding halt. There was no flights moving, there were no, we had to shut down all the hotels because of social distancing, except for some very unique properties, which later on we quickly transformed into destination wellness, which followed very precisely all the top quality protocols prescribed by WHO, which is important to give the sense of security to the people from the pandemic. So we are fine. I would say that we are fine. We are one group which has been able to carry on. There were a short-term adjustment of our human resource management. We had to ask people to operate from home like anywhere else. There was a temporary sort of downsizing of the operation somewhere, but I think we are back on track.
Right. Mr. Chaudhary, nobody has ever thought that we would be seeing this day, like everybody is homebound. We are doing this interview remotely. So what lessons have you learned during these uncertain times, and have you changed anything about how you approach your business?
The fundamental lesson that I think it has reminded, not only me, I think it has the coronavirus epidemic or the pandemic has taught the world is there is something beyond the powers of any country, big or small, in this on this planet. I think everybody, this was one situation where every country and every individual, no matter big or small, rich or poor, it has taught that there are certain things which is beyond the capacity of anybody, any planner, any state. Second thing that I think the pandemic has taught the world that life is going to change. There is a new normal now. Everybody's way of doing business has changed. Okay, it has brought in new thinking, new awakening, new sense that things which we used to do yet until yesterday has become irrelevant. We never used to use Zoom as a tool of communication within our system.
Right.
And this has been divine. I think it is the most efficient way of bringing everybody together on the dot at the right time and to make sure that everybody's time and efforts and even cost is conserved.
Mr. Chaudhary, now let's bring your attention to your autobiography, which was one of the best-selling autobiographies in Nepal, and which is titled "Making It Big" in English. And I was reading through your autobiography the other day, and there was one quote. I just want to quote it now. I was neither prepared nor had the education or experience when I started off, but I took each development in my life seriously. This helped me see clearly where I stood and where I had to reach. Now, Mr. Chaudhary, help me explain what do you mean by I took each development in my life seriously?
I was not mentally prepared, nor I was educationally trained to handle what I had to handle. So it was a sheer matter of gut feel, common sense, and intuition, and and a matter of self-confidence that yes, I can do it. I said this in Oxford when I was speaking to the students of the Sides Management College,
Right.
that if you guys think that this is a great institution, I mean, I'm so proud that I've been invited to speak here. If you feel that this institution is going to make you into an entrepreneur, you are mistaken. I don't believe that the B school make entrepreneurs.
Right.
They can polish you. Okay, they can make you into a very good manager. They can teach you how to think in a structured manner. They can give you a great network of the people who can be of matter of great sense. But entrepreneurship comes from within.
So since we touched upon entrepreneurship, now let's talk about entrepreneurship in general. So it is often believed that it is a long road to success in entrepreneurship. We can, take an example. But if we look at the career of some entrepreneurs like Facebook founder Zuckerberg, who became a billionaire in his early 20s, it seems, quite not true, right? So how do you perceive this?
No, I think this story confirms what I was telling you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it talks about, I think, three things. A, the person within, the entrepreneurial within the person. A, B, the agile mind, which is not happy to rest just because something exists. They want to create something beyond what exists. Thirdly, understanding the using the available technology.
Mr. Chaudhary, just wondering, how long do you work? Like, how is your work schedule like in a week? Like, do you work 40 hours a week, 30, 50 hours a week? What is your work schedule, right?
Well, I don't count hours, how many hours I work. I work non-stop.
Okay.
My mind works non-stop. My mind works non-stop. My body works as much as it can work,
Okay.
beyond the call of nature. I can't help it, I don't think I think it has anything to do with how much of quantity of time you put into your work. I think life has to be complete. Life has to be holistic.
Right.
Life has to be balanced. You've got to be a great time manager so that you find time to do everything. When I say that I work 24 hours of work, that doesn't mean that I'm doing business all the time.
Right.
Maybe one part of my mind, my mind, I believe, without any modesty, I think it thinks in different layers, okay, at the same time.
Right.
Maybe
right.
one part of my mind is thinking business, the other part of my mind is listening to music. The third layer of my mind is thinking of my guru, and I'm meditating. It's very normal for me, and that's probably one of the reasons why I call myself blessed.
Right. Mr. Chaudhary, you talked about like you work 24 hours, but you indulge some time for music and some other stuff. But if you talk about Tesla CEO Elon Musk, he's very infamous for working more than 80 hours. Sometimes he works around 100 hours a week. He says like you need to put in hours every day to be successful. So my question is long working hours really necessary to be a successful entrepreneur?
Well, I don't necessarily say that the success is linked to the quantum of hours you put behind. I mean, that's what I said. However, if you have far too much to catch up, and if your ambition is far bigger than the turf where you are standing, okay, you got to be prepared to work long hours.
Mr. Chaudhary, now let's talk about like if somebody wants to work for a company like Chaudhary Group, what are you looking for in that candidate? Like, are you looking for, if that person is a graduate from Ivy League colleges like Harvard or Columbia, or you are looking for something else in that person?
Depends on for what role I'm looking at that person.
Okay.
I think when this is the difference between my HR head or my team, my people in the HR department. When they interview somebody, they I try to tell them, but they don't always listen to me.
They don't listen to you.
They always keep the position for which that person is being interviewed for and talk. Okay, whether this person fits into this role or not. So I always say that you think out within the box, and I don't think within the box. I think out of the box.
Mr. Chaudhary, is there anything else an aspiring, entrepreneur can do to set themselves apart from this, big crowd?
I would say that every entrepreneur with great idea has to be disciplined, highly disciplined. Okay, commitment level has to be very, very high. No compromise there because you are competing with everybody in the world today. Okay, today's youth, today's success stories or today's entrepreneurs do not necessarily have a business background. Okay, nor they had to go to a B school, top quality B school. I hope the B schools people don't kill me. But they don't necessarily need to. If they manage to go there, it's good for them. And capital, they don't need to have capital. If you have that power of idea, capital will follow you. There are plenty of startup funds, venture capitals, which are waiting for that one idea that clicks in the Silicon Valley or in Singapore or in Bangalore.
True.
Okay, which will make it big. But today, if you have the right product with the right USP in one post in a social media, you can put it throughout the world overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And there are distribution systems like the Alibaba and Amazon, which will put you into the distribution system overnight. But you must have that winning idea.
True. Mr. Chaudhary, when you were starting out, there were no social media, meaning like there were no distractions. Now there are so many distractions, especially Facebook, Twitter. It's like the sound keeps popping up on our cell phone, and we have like Netflix, HBO, Disney Plus. There's so many OTT platforms, so many distractions. So how can young entrepreneurs stay focused and productive at their work?
It's all you have to know your priorities. You have to know your priorities. You have to know how much of time you want to give to what. Okay, there's nothing wrong in watching Netflix. I did. I think you have to know which social media tool you want to use for what purpose.
Lastly, any final advice to college graduates looking to follow your footsteps or who want to pursue an entrepreneurial journey?
Well, once again, there is no better time than now. Of course, take out the little bit of the temporary hassles of the pandemic. Second is the power of idea, that is what is going to win. And it's very easy to generate that idea because of technology again. Thirdly, if you have done that, you got to be able to find the right kind of resources to back you. And they're all also there in your handset or in your laptop. You can reach out to people.
Okay, I was about to end this conversation. One last question just came into my mind. How do you know that somebody is, bluffing about their business idea?
I think I think the most important form of expression is your eyes and your body language, then your words.
Right.
I think it tells you volumes if you know how to read it.
So one last question to squeeze in. So I've seen your Twitter time. You're really active on Twitter, and I've seen you, replying to some comments as well. And I've seen so many people reaching out to you, especially on Twitter, pitching ideas. Do you look at those comments, or do you, do you buy the pitches?
Very seriously. By the way, I try to, particularly Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Particularly Twitter. I read every Twitter. Okay, which is relevant to me.
Right.
I also try to more or less read all the Twitters that I follow, all the people I follow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is it good to pitch you on Twitter? Pitch business idea on Twitter.
Yeah, you'll never go wrong.
Okay, Mr. Chaudhary, thank you so much for your time. It was really
all the best. And any plans of coming to Nepal? When you coming?
Hopefully 2022, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So please do keep in touch. Okay, and I wish you all the best, and to also your team. And thank you for this wonderful conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, because I know every penny counts. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.